homie. Yeah, can I bother you today? Go somewhere in secret, have you hollering my name. Smoke so many girls, got it foggy in my face. If you fuck with me, I make your problems go away. All your baby daddies in the county or the state. Why you waste your time with all that counterfeiting change? Feeling like somebody put a bounty on your plate. If you feeling drop, I'll take you out for an escape. Are you down, down, girl, girl, down, down, girl, girl, down, down, girl, down, down, down. Are you down, down, girl, down, down, girl, down, down, girl, down, down, girl. This a motion picture that I want you as the star in. When this shit premiere, you the one that it is starring. I ain't from this planet, but I'm way beyond a Martian. Hope you come along, strap your seatbelt on my starship. It's my vibe. It's the fight to get right. It's my vibe. It's the fight to shine. It's my vibe. It's the fight to get. It's my vibe. It's the fight to get. You don't know the half, girl, quit acting like my homie. Try to make you laugh, but you act like you don't know me. Bringing up the past, got your actions looking phony. Questions on the ass, why you acting like you know me? Like they hit you up, ask you what you trying to do today. You get too upset cause you don't like to do no Q&As. Rolling up some trees and I know you might can use a drink. Girl, what's the problem, man? And baby, you just flew away. Call you in the morning, wanna see you till it's truly late. Pictures I be drawing, got me using all the newest paints. Fill a glass of water, I ain't really trying to lose my brain. Standing on my words, can't trust anything that you say. Goddamn, girl, goddamn, you're a motherfucking liar. Goddamn, girl, goddamn, you're a motherfucking liar. It's my vibe. It's the flight to get. It's my vibe. It's the flight to shine. It's the flight to get. It's my vibe. It's the flight to get. You don't know the math, or quit acting like my homie. Try to make you laugh, but you act like you don't know me. Bringing up the past, got your actions looking phony. Questions on the ass, why you acting like you own me?
It's the flights, yeah, miss flight boss. It's the flights, yeah, miss flight. It's the flights, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't send out Central Plus Land X Volume 4 with sea salt, snow melting tires in the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? New invention. You know what I'm saying? Ice salt ball, melted rubber tire, wintertime season melting snow driver tires. You know what I'm saying, bro? You'll never go to Firestone again. Never go to Firestone again. You know what I'm saying, bro? Hey. We created something new in the world. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother. Other than that, yeah, we're going to get into some relationship astrology. Not electric astrology, not Kalakami astrology, not locational astrology, relationship astrology. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can understand what's going on when y'all be having some of y'all flunked out relationships. And when I say relationship, it ain't always necessarily dealing with a partner. It could be a person in your life that you have to relate to. So some of these people be all smack monkey siblings and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Fire Shadeberg friends and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then somebody left the zoo open. So, you know, you got a new job and that new creature work at your job too. So it's like at the same time, it's a lot of different energies that you got to relate to in the world. So it ain't always just chalked up about like just relationships. Always keep that in mind. Sometimes y'all be like flunkety flunking buttercream land and then start playing victim and think everything is against you. And sometimes you don't know that you probably came from some type of speciation form in Area 51 or something like that. This is when the last time I looked in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like when you start to get connected with life and correspondence with spirituality and physicality, boom, you know how to bring the two together and be a little closer to God, regardless of how things look physically. Oh, Sam, really, your life might look ugly at the time. You know, everybody don't be in good circumstances and beautiful situations. You know, y'all, we talk about that. We talk about, y'all say, you know, Uriel only talk spiritual. Y'all know Uriel only talk spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't have no ugly spirit now, Lord. It might manifest as a mentality, physical adrenaline. Facial speech. Sarah. Now you got a permanent facial feature that you. Oh, thank you so much for the cash app. I appreciate that. I can see the whole name. Change Jesus. Stuff, but look, we're gonna get into some real cause look, here's the thing, y'all got sometimes y'all be chalking it up to the wrong thing. The elements, that ain't even the half of the fact. So you'll be like, oh, my sun sign opposite, my sun sign square, my moon sign this, my ascendant that, but that's not even it. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter if it's a good relationship or a bad relationship, it's always have the structure, and the structure is predicated on your planets falling in the person's house and their planets falling in your houses, and that's how y'all influence each other's life. Depending on the spirits, that's going to be the outcome if y'all got good correspondence, reciprocation, and communication skills and things of that nature, where y'all can resolve things. But based on how much y'all care for each other, so whatever frustration or even the alignment after the fact that we get into, that's a negative one. We'll still be in a situation where we'll be able to get over it based upon us being into the same thing. So our godly mission is more important than whatever me and you is flunked out and arguing about to destroy the whole situation that God need both of us for. So for the most part, here's the thing. So when we started talking about the houses and the planets in the houses is corresponding to how the relationship going to be structured. Your element, your sign, your planets, those are just basically your natures anyway. It don't matter if you even in a situation of a family member or someone you truly love. You cannot change a person's nature. So a person's nature, it depends on how that spirit used their natures, but it's not for you to chalk it up and say this relationship is not going to work due to the fact of a person's nature accumulation is an opposite sign of yours or a square sign of yours. So that's lazy astrology right there and things of that nature, which you can see people with things that you will probably hear other astrologers explain that it'd be the worst kind of relationship in the world. And a lot of these people is your uncles and aunties that's married. A lot of these people is people at your job that you might not know their zodiac or whatever like that, but if you was to get into their personal business and see their partner or who they married to, it'll probably be a situation where when you get online on your own time, it's some an astrologer telling you that it'd be a worst nightmare. So you have to be careful. It ain't got nothing to do with the actual element and the planet. It's how things is crafted. For an example, we always have to make something simple, right? So making something simple is something that we can see in reality. Right? So if me, just as much as somebody got the same sign or you trying to say they got an opposite sign, throw that out the window. Me and you got a brain, right? So we both got a brain, so you can understand I got something like you got. But both of us utilize it differently, right? So the way I structure my brain may be different than the way you structure your brain, but we both got a brain. So look at that like the houses. The houses is the relationship, and the elements don't matter. We all got planets. You got planets, I got planets. That ain't the matter. But the matter is how it's constructed. And how it's constructed is the houses. And the houses tell you the mathematical blueprint of the relationship if both of y'all minds came together and became one mind, like a composition chart. Beyond a synastry chart. A synastry is just, comparing and contrasting. Composition is combining them together and reaching a conclusion of, if y'all was one person, because that's what we're here to do also. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason that exists. So the Jews, they know what they was doing too, to make the composition chart. So this makes you, man, woman come together, y'all create a child, and y'all can do anything with that mental child. Create a business, circumstance, or influence, but that's basically what the composition chart is interpreting and things of that nature. Where both y'all alignments meet at a center point. The joining of two energies create one in the middle. And that be y'all child that God need to use as a vessel to bring that new birth of influence in this world. And if two individuals, especially if like y'all soulmates or twin flames or something like that, but y'all keep going through retarded cat and mouse circumstances, y'all gonna create demise for each other. And whoever in the ego or whatever like that is going to make it even worse. They're going to get the worst end of the stick. The one that's actually trying to fight out of the things may still fall like a tower, but they're not going to fall as low as the one that's actually creating the fall based upon the ego in some way, shape, or form. And then how many eons they got to do through that again, then whichever one got out of the loop first is the one that's going to be free whenever that comes. But at the same time, it's talking about how things are crafted. And for the most part, it depends on whatever just the connection is beyond the alignment and things of that nature. But the crafted of the relationship itself is going to be predicated on the planets and the houses. So keep that in mind also. So we're going to start with like the sun, so you can help you understand that it's not necessarily what zodiac sun sign they are. What's most important is what house do they sun fall in your life, right? So that's going to be how you found them, what you pay attention to them the most, where you may develop clashes of ego, and where you could support each other with the masculine energy with each other to support your life as a balance of that area if you lack planets, or even if you have planets there, and they could be a supporting area in that life also, and then you do the same thing and vice versa, because it's not all about you. That's what a lot of y'all don't be understanding too. Y'all be thinking it's all about y'all, and y'all not the one with problems. So y'all listen to certain things online, and you fail to realize you have to do some shadow work or whatever, or you wouldn't even be manifesting these situations in the first place. So for the most part, a lot of times we have to do self-evaluation and, you know what I'm saying, take self-accountability for the percentage level of energy we added to the situation. You know what I'm saying? We can't look past that, or we're not on a real spiritual growth. And God will show that as a confirmation by us experiencing tower moments in our personal life beyond what we show to the universe. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. Because you'll get blinded in the universe, and then you'll get lost in like stranger energy to the point that you think a tower moment got something to do with somebody's online character or something like that, or with someone that they posting their own vacation or something like that, and you went to school with this person and you seen their Facebook or something like that, and things of that. Like you would chalk things up to real life being these type of things, and that don't got nothing to do with it. The only way to confirm what I'm talking about is things that deal with consistency. You either going to come across individuals that's inconsistent, and therefore that leads them to you knowing that they're stubborn behind closed doors to a certain degree, and you'll come across individuals that's consistent, regardless if you're looking at their current situation and it look like they fell off or not. If they have the ability to get it again and look like they're smiling and things of that nature, then they're consistent. So God won't even put them in a situation of lacking and things of that nature. They'll just be going through phases, and that phase will still be better than the person who's in a circumstance. Thank you so much for the donation, Corey. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. They'll still be in a better circumstance than the individual that's current, that's in the current space of developing energies of not participating in that newness. Getting out of it. That kind of threw me off a little bit where I was at. So for the most part, what you need to understand is this. When we start talking about circumstances of construction, the relationship is going to be constructed in a certain manner. And if y'all not understanding who planets is in what house, then you might not know how the relationship is constructed. So anytime you meet a desire that's not met for yours, and you put that on the eggs in the back of the other individual that you're in a relationship with, if y'all don't know what's going on at the moment, a lot of times y'all can create unnecessary problems just due to the fact of not being into things like this. Because this is just a tool. You don't have to be into astrology and things of that nature, but it's even better if you is, because you're closer to God. Because if God know everything, for the most part, all possibilities, you're supposed to have a little possibility of knowing a little bit about something. So at least when you experience something that you may lack a little knowledge on, at least you're not expressing yourself like a fool in that area, and you have a large level of unbiases in it. So even if you don't speak in that situation at all, you don't got no standpoint that can create blockages for you in the future when the representation is needed. So for the most part, that's when you always stay with God, and you stay clear from from faulty energy, and you stay in that pure substance. So I'm saying. But at the same time, understanding the houses, this person's intellectual water flow and how they influence you within your houses, and in the same way you do that and vice versa. So that'll let you know how the relationship is constructed. And then once y'all got that starting point, y'all can start working on what do y'all do in moderation, and what is y'all doing over compromising with, and things of that nature. So keep that in mind also. For an example, right, you might have a partner and they sun, and we'll get into the other planets too. I'm just making this as an example. Let's say they're Venus or something like that, maybe in your second house. So for the most part, the relationship may start good, but eventually you will start to see that this person is in your house of values. So just as much as you go out and work for money, just as much as this person may be might be something that you're responsible for, that you have to spend your money on. And eventually, if y'all don't know how to do things in moderation or whatever like that, you might become frustrated with an energy that at first it was cool, but when it developed into other areas, now it ended up that this person's Venus drains your money because it's in your second house and things of that nature. So your ability to love this person, or the things that this person love, Venus, since you value them, it's in your second house. You might take the things that support your values and will help you build your self-esteem to keep this person around, without realizing it until you meet a whole bunch of experiences and ups and downs, your loopity-loop systems, to be like, this person is a bullshit individual. know what I'm saying? And I don't want y'all to think it's all about money. I'm just making these things as examples and stuff like that because it's not all about money. But when you're arguing and things of that nature, it's the best clear example to point to somebody so a person who's giving you rhetoric or lost, you can make things make sense to them. You know what I'm saying? For an example, you can say your ancestors had powers and things of that nature all you want, right? But whose ancestors face on the money? So we know we're not talking about money, but we're talking about we have to look at reality before we take a line of reasoning for something that just make us feel good, and then that stops us from preventing our real problems and stopping our real issues and getting mental health and stuff like that so we can have the right ideas to go for the right things. You know what I'm saying? We stop and we get our heart warmed and our eardrums melted by some feel good energy based upon making me feel good like I used to be somebody that ain't living no more. But if the outcome ain't coming out from it and things of that nature, then we have to make that a reality. Did I feel good and satisfy my day just to feel good? Or did I actually spend the rest of my day attacking my actual issues? And when you feel good, you don't even think you got an issue after that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we have to do self-evaluation and not get lost into this feel good knowledge. Because it can make you feel like you somebody, but you wake up every day and you still have to rub two nickels together. So we know in this context it's not about money, but it's the proof in the pudding to help you understand, separate the money and understand the morality. Your power and your way of thinking is being misguided in the wrong area, and you're using your brain for the wrong things. And if you was to go ahead and switch that direction and put your mind on this, maybe you will have something in your life that you crying for at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's all God be wanting to show y'all. That's all God be wanting to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? But look, check this out. When we start to talk about the energies itself. So let's say if an individual's sun falls in your first house. So this person, you probably met them doing something that you're personally interested in. You know what I'm saying? This person probably fulfilled a personal insecurity of yours, a personal fulfillment of yours, right? So a lot of times, if it go too far, it can become personally smothering. Like I said, no relationship is perfect. So y'all need to get out of the mind state of being internal narcs and thinking that somebody have to construct your insecurities to make you feel comfortable where they're in the same situation as you. So y'all getting ready to waste each other time. You need to know everybody different and everybody got their own mind. So the thing ain't something that suits your natures. The thing is, who do you rather deal with when you meet the situation everybody else gonna meet anyway? So instead of you getting in something you really don't want and you just settling in something like that, how about you just uh get with an actual spirit connection in some way, your other half in some way, and therefore you know that people who ain't really sure about themselves that's in relationships, such you probably got examples like your parents, your grandparents, and things of that nature, is going to experience the same thing whether they with a person they like or not. So why not just get with a person who's like-minded like you? So that'll be the person you choose to be frustrated with if y'all meet frustrations. And here's the thing, we all gonna meet frustrations. The difference between you and average individuals and humans is the percentage level. So y'all percentage level have better solutions because of how y'all got in a relationship that the percentage level wasn't so high on toxicity and things of that nature. So even when y'all meet frustrations, both of y'all are spiritually wise enough to know that y'all spirits just need space at the moment, and it ain't that deep. It ain't deep. It ain't nothing deeper but this one person going with their family member for a couple seconds and another person going with their friends or homeboys or them getting busy for a couple seconds. And y'all know that's a solution, and y'all know that's the reason when the spirit play tit for tat anyway. So when y'all even go through frustrations, it's less of a retarded outcome than the average individuals who don't know this is what's going on when they spirits start getting tired of each other, so they don't even have a starting point to develop a solution when these times meet. And then these times start to accumulate every time they do meet these events, and it just meet into a frustrating situation where you can't even stand this person. You know what I'm saying? After a while being around. So it's important not to be starting no relationships about no shadow government type way. Don't start no relationships the shadow government way. Start relationships on a spiritual ship. And if you don't understand how to find that yet, it's because you ain't that spiritual yet. You don't got a purpose. Anytime you got a purpose, you too distracted by your purpose anyway. For an example, right? This is my purpose. Astrology and tarots and card and all this stuff, right? So I'm so distracted in doing this I can't even see no females in my city around me. I can only see only if they doing something I'm doing. So that saved me from being distracted from taking what I do on here just to itch my scratch with individuals that's not really on my time. And then I will have to justify it for other purposes to why I'm doing it. Well, really, in the outcome, I waste money and time. And I wasted their time and they wasted my time for the sake of, if it was to be a relationship and it lasted a while, even don't matter. It ain't a spiritual ship. It's a shadow government relationship. So I will have to maintain what I was upholding before I got them for me to even be seen in that same light. Other than this person being into the same thing I'm into, and we're going through the same phases together, for God to even see that and put us in a position that won't even happen. No fall off won't even happen because we're doing it for God anyway. So for the most part, that's about faith and trust and belief. That take two people to do that. But at the same time, that would be like the circumstance. So when you mix times, your time only get mixed when you get distracted. And then when you get distracted, you attract other distracted individuals. And that, depending on how much energy you put into it, seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, days, months, right? You could like totally realize that your goddamn goal and your gift is in the back seat. And on the passenger seat was this lust that you didn't wasted all this time. And then Jesus took the wheel. You wasn't even driving. You didn't got lazy and said, Jesus, take the wheel. Because you didn't know what's making this person do what they do as far as their actions, or what's making you do what you do as far as your actions, based on when y'all meet these events on the pure premise of somebody is becoming unstable on the things that they was obtaining when the relationship was started. So you meet this internal weird fart cloud that you know this other person got this possibility of thinking about you a certain way. So y'all lack mental communication. And then you go out on your own trying to prove something so this person won't see you in a certain way with the conversation that's not said. It's like an elephant in a room. And then y'all like y'all secretly as spirits trying to prove each other the shadow government tactics. And if one fell off, they're trying to uphold it. And without it being said, prove to this other person that they can still uphold that. And then without it being said, the female or the male, especially the female, can look at the male like, well, you're not upholding this no more. So this is my excuse that I can leave and find myself out without it being said. So if this going on for like a good month or two, it'll start accumulating in the physical world where the man might see the female actions that's very negative, but be able to justify it like she got her right, because he might feel like he ain't in the same position and giving her flowers like he did. And then this wraps y'all up in the whole Walt Disney romance and the situation when he was started on no spiritual shit. So y'all just experiencing demonic energy because the devil put y'all together. The desires put y'all together. God didn't put y'all together. So when the devil contracts start leaving one or the other start scratching their head like, what's going on with this? This don't look the same. And then that's when you know y'all both nuts, for real. So you got to peep game. You know what I'm saying? When we start to talk about interactions and stuff and how far things can go if you don't observe certain tools and stuff like that you can add to make your relationship much more beneficial, even when y'all meet those frustrating events, circumstances, and experiences and stuff like that. And that's what make y'all spiritually intelligent. And God won't have no choice but to make y'all the power couple amongst the family and friends and the world and society and stuff like that. Like, it'd be all kind of unblockages, if y'all even got any, happening and stuff like that, to make you question stuff like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why is it so easy to do stuff? You mean to tell me it's all about love like that? And that's when you're doing love the right way. Not to say love is the whole universe or whatever like that, but it's all about matching energies. When you want to receive something, you got to do it. So even when you're doing it with a partner and y'all doing the love the way God wants y'all to do it, you will see how powerful it is on the positive energy. A lot of y'all just do it by default on the negative end. So it'd be like the very same thing you love be the first thing you end up becoming an enemy and destroying. So you have to be careful. That's why you threw your Xbox controller against the wall. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. Now you asking your mother to pay for another one if you just got out of college and stuff like that, and she might not got it to give. Now you got to go ahead and work at McDonald's for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just making an example to help you understand, this is how we deal with our things and stuff like that. Now, when we start talking about the sun, let's say, if an individual sun falls in your first house, right? Then for the most part, their actions and how they see things kind of balance out your personal life. You know what I'm saying? This person probably helped you with a personal issue, affair, whatever like that. Now, negatively, a lot of times this could become y'all enemies or the family members y'all don't like. Like I said, the houses ain't always the energy you do, is what you experience and what's your surroundings, whether that person, that sign or not, or the event. But we're talking specifically right now the sign. And the sun sign, a lot of times might be family, friends, associates, and co-workers that become your enemy. So all houses could play out positively or negatively, but we're breaking down the actual structure of it, and you can get out of the equilibrium space and go to the polar shift to see how it's playing out in your life, if it's positive or negative, so you can keep a hold of it and control that and see things coming from a mile away and read people. So so in a nutshell, as the structure, this person influenced your personal life, and you can see yourself blending your personal space with this individual and their actions and their viewpoints. And they may even see themselves as their actions being able to blend with you to help you with your personal issues or your personal interests and become one of your personal affairs, aka the personal people, places, or things in your life. Now, if somebody's sun is in your second house, right? This individual, and you may have found them doing things that you value, or this person may have helped your self-esteem to a certain degree. So, if you give this person too much credit, you could put them in a position that this person is the only one who can hurt your self-esteem too. So be careful of that too. But the value of this person's actions and viewpoints is what arouse you. And so you will probably value them in some way or plant seeds in the area for them, aka you will support whatever that they're doing with their actions and stuff. That's what it means to plant seeds, support. So you will plant seeds into valuing what they have to offer as far as their actions, you know what I'm saying, their viewpoints, their sun sign, and things of that nature. But you could go overwhelming too and become broke for this individual. So be careful of that too. And if it's an individual that's taking advantage of you, they'll put you in a situation where you'll get blinded and it's already too late before you got to get yourself out of it. Now you got to rebuild. Now, if a person's sun is in your third house, this somebody 9 times out of 10 you met through a friend, you met in your environment, you probably knew them from school, or they're into the same kind of information that you're into. So the places you go or the time. I don't know why I froze for a second. Oh, yeah. So, that's probably the little thing that y'all got. Thank you so much for the cash app. Just be free. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Just be free. So, in the third house, it puts you in a situation where you may have met this person through a friend, through your environment, or this person probably they're probably invested to the same type of information you are in some way. So a lot of the locations that you go to, like the library or something like that, you probably on the same time as this type of individual who got the sun in your third house. So, this person affect your environment in some way. Now, if it's on the negative end, they affect your environment. This person's actions, this person's viewpoints, this probably an enemy, or this a person who talk behind your back, or probably a friend that you can't trust in some way, shape, or form. If it's playing out negatively. If it's positively, it can be a person, especially when it comes into a relationship, that help you feel more secure being with them when you're in your environment, or when they're in your space and your surrounding in some way, shape, or form. And you might always want to be with this person, or always want to talk to this person, or something like that. Now, let's say if somebody's sun sign is in your fourth house, right? This puts you in a situation where this person affect your home life, your home, family, domestic issues, your emotional stability, your ability to feel like if you're obtaining privacy or not, and who you want in that space or not. So this person affect that area and things of that nature. So if it's negative, a lot of times this person's sun sign, their actions and their viewpoints, let's say you get into a relationship with them, just for you to be in a relationship with them may cause problems with you and your family and things of that nature, or your privacy, or how you conduct your emotional stability or something like that, to the point that you always feel smothered if it's negative. If it's positive, this is an individual that you built a home with, that you could bring back home to your family and be like, look, this my family I'm getting ready to start, and they will accept it and stuff like that if it's positive. So it could be positive or negative, but that'd be the structure of how you meet this individual, or how y'all start to get the 1-2 together. So, it'll be based on this person helping you privately that no one else helped you at. So that's that seniority that you got with this individual. Or it could be a situation where this person helped you out emotionally, or this is a person you can see you creating a family with, or you can see this person as family. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times y'all be having sun sign friends in y'all fourth house. And now you realizing why that's your best friend and things of that nature, because they sun in your fourth house or something like that. Now, you did a lot of things with them that you didn't do with y'all other friend circle. So y'all up to a little closer on a one-on-one basis than how y'all are on one-on-one basis with y'all whole social group. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's say you got this an individual have their sun in your fifth house, right? And always do this and vice versa, y'all. So like, don't just say, oh, it's all about you, because I just broke down that whole allegory too. This how you affect others too, even if they're not in astrology. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of the energy, even how some tarot cards be pulling, tarot card readers be pulling, but since a lot of tarot cards not into astrology, they don't be understanding the tools a lot of times. So they be having to read books, the books that come with it and stuff like that from people who already did the work. But at the same time, it's basically an allegory of the structures of a house and making everything a moral system that anybody could go through, even if they don't have that actual energy at the moment. So this is how we all become alchemists and see problems from a mile away and prevent it, because what became for us, we become intelligent enough to not experience it ahead, even if we got those desires ourselves. So I'm saying, for an example, I'm Aries sun sign. Since I know I'm an Aries, I know how to not be too explosive and direct that energy where it needs to be explosive at. Therefore, the regular Aries automatically become a lower octave than me due to the fact of not even being into this. You see what I'm saying? Because their energy is already going to act out in a way that they're not able to be aware of to prevent something from a mile away. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the higher octave Aries. So I'm always going to compete. So instead of me, I'm already Uriel. So instead of me being lower octave, I don't compete in the world with people. I take all that energy out and compete with myself. So instead of y'all seeing me in jail, instead of y'all seeing me extremely toxic and stuff like that, y'all seeing that energy directed in 1,000 mixtapes, 1,000 videos, live streams, talk about spirituality. So that's an example of Aries competitive energy, but the difference between a higher octave version and a lower octave version who probably just gonna throw a football and end up in jail. But then you do that with all the other signs too, with their energy. Taurus, structure; Gemini, communication; Cancer, Karen; Leo, expression. You know what I'm saying? Virgo, practicality; worrying. Libra, relationship or being relatable; Scorpio, depth or deep passion, deep passionate connection from an emotional standpoint; Sagittarius, the wisdom of the matter, you know what I'm saying, or the experience at hand, or learn it through experience, not through information and talking. Capricorn, building or something being useful, the using energy, to be able to be used or to be able to use others, to make it sufficient. Aquarius, the individual communication to see if what needs to be mutable or what needs to be mutable or cardinal. So being consistent on your standpoint on a form of analogy. So that'll be fixated communication in Pisces, right? The how you see reality from a dual perspective and things of that nature, which all mutable signs is like that. But you know, when we start talking about specifically Pisces, that's through the element of emotion. You know what I'm saying? So how to see reality through the emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be the imagination. So a Pisces will have to know not to go too far with the imagination, but because then that can stop things from a mile away. The Taurus can know not to go too far with practicality and stubbornness, because they know that they can prevent something from a mile away. The Gemini got to know not to overthink or over communicate too much if they ain't an airhead to the point that they might be dry communicating to others, but their mind going a million miles an hour. They have to know how to not do that one too, and therefore they prevent things from a mile away. Cancer, you have to know how to not care for things that ain't worth caring about. You prevent situations that don't go in your favor from a mile away. So Virgos, you have to know what to worry about, what not to worry about, to come to a more practical solution to take the world up off your shoulders. So now that's how you stop things from a mile away. Libras, you have to know when it's time to not be relatable, and you have to be more self-sufficient, regardless if it's uncomfortable or not, because you're going to manifest taking the short end of the stick. That's how you prevent things from happening a mile away. See what I'm saying? Scorpios, you have to know things ain't that deep. Sometimes you have to bring things to the surface before you start to look like you got to manipulate it, or even if whatever you're doing got a method to the madness. That's how you stop things from a mile away. Y'all get it? See what I'm saying? It's all about knowing and doing better. not knowing, failing, and making an excuse about failing, aka my Mars was in the 18,000 house. No, it's about knowing your Mars in the 18,000 house and saying, oh no, it's really in the fourth or it's really in the sixth. And me fighting that is me getting the benefits of what that have to offer. So I transmute it into the higher octave version of it by just separating from the energies that it make me do, and I try to justify it. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Now, so getting back into like when we started talking about the sun being in the fifth house. Now the sun being in the fifth house, this could be an individual that spark your enjoyment. You can have fun around this individual. You can feel youthful. You can feel like a kid around this individual and things of that nature. Because y'all entertained by the same type things. So y'all way of being entertaining and trying to get attention or give it is in the same kind of lingo and things of that nature when a person's sun is in your fifth house. So this person sparked your creativity also, your ability to have fun and enjoy yourself. You might, and if it's a foolish person, you might get too blinded of fun and lose responsibilities like the next house, the sixth house, and lose your home life and privacy, the fourth house, and get stuck in a weird energy that if you with someone that you can't build the fourth and sixth house with, you're going to get lost into wasting each other time, and that person just came and went like a season, so you might not be able to forget them because you had fun times, but you know that it wasn't never going to be grounded into anything, even if you got earth there. It won't be grounded in anything if it ain't no spiritual shit. But other than that, it'll kick off just fine though. You see what I'm saying? This person might not even be acting this certain way of your favorite movie when you was growing up. And just this person having a son in your fifth house, you may like by default make an allegory in your mind of how this person remind you of your favorite movie or something like that and things of that nature, and put it together how it makes sense and actually ask them, do they do that and stuff. Like it'd be that deep. Okay. Now getting into that's instant oil sage stick. You know what I'm saying? You could pick your teeth with too, YouTube. Like I did like the special effects on that. I know y'all ain't see me reach over the button, but it's a way I got the S pen, so you can push a little button and still play with the filters and stuff. So that's what that is, YouTube. I don't know where that came from. Some fart cloud style, but it just. I blame the Hebrew Israelites. I said they be selling it online. The instant oil candle deodorant sticks. You could, you know what I'm saying, light your sage on and stuff and pick like on your teeth. And, you know what I'm saying? So, and then the special effects on YouTube that y'all put up there, YouTube. That's what that was. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Real stuff. Back on topic. But you know what I'm saying? When we start talking about the sun in the fifth house, you need to be careful. Because, you know, this individual could burn you out. And then if y'all get lost in too much fun, it won't be no responsibilities grounded and things of that nature. And then therefore the relationship doesn't have anything to stick. So eventually y'all start to drift apart and do that elsewhere with someone else that create that same type of energy. But since the spirit always need fulfillment and y'all secret narcs, y'all jump right in that situation and think it's different, think that grass is greener, and jump over there and see that, oh, this grass got a sidewalk in front of it too. Oh, so you mean both yards got sidewalks in front of it? Oh, it don't matter what grass is greener then. They both got sidewalks. Oh, yeah, and then go ahead but a street pole after that. I'm saying at some point you got to realize everybody yard and grass, no matter if the grass that look like it's all dirt because they don't know how to cut the grass right and stuff like that. They still got the sidewalk in front of there. Even if we stay on dirt roads, we know the Masons were supposed to make a sidewalk there. So you just live in a misery house with somebody. But now that you realize that, you like, man, everybody household's it don't even matter the grass over the fence. Everybody got a sidewalk. So let me just go pick the best person I just want to go ahead and enjoy the yard and the sidewalk with. Because everybody got a sidewalk. No matter if our yard greener than the next door neighbors. Boom, you on track. Y'all say you on track now. Get ready to find a person of your life. Person to share your life with. God gonna give y'all millions, billions. Trust and believe that. I'm Uriel, I'm God's child. I seen it, and I've seen that before in an eon. You know You know what I'm saying? That God, what God could do for people. I seen that. So just because I don't see it in this reality, that don't mean I'm Uriel. I be teaching all kind of stuff y'all don't see in this reality yet. So when I say stuff like this, believe that's true. Just so you just might not see it in this reality because y'all born now and y'all experiencing 2023, and people that run y'all just flunked as y'all. So I mean, so it might be hard to see what I'm saying right now, but believe me, I wouldn't be able to say it if it didn't exist. So in a time in the eon, that is real. It's real. I can't tell you how much faith to have in it in your time now. I can't get into that. That's gonna get into pandering. Yeah, I said that's gonna get into feel good, moral, motivational speaking knowledge. Yeah, I said, oh, yeah, I can't do that. It's like hard for me to do that. I live too long for all that. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. I can't melt your eardrums that good. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could. Trust me. It'll be somebody next to me right now. So yeah, I can't melt your eardrums that good. But believe me, it exists. I seen it in reality. I seen what God could do with people and humans before. Just not in this eon. Not in this one. But I seen it. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere back in 1842 and stuff. Just not in 2023 and in 2000 and not in the 2000s. And then I don't see that. Just now. You know what I'm saying? Prince told y'all it's new world. Then this 1999 on party like it's 19. It ain't never been the same. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been partying. Y'all been stuck in 1 year for about like 20 years now. And all of that. And all of that. The fixed stars moved 1 degree after 71 years. And all of that. Smiley. Oh, sad. But see, y'all gotta peep game. This is the world we in. But like I said, get back on track. Now, let's say you got somebody's son is in your 6th house. I mean, this person put you to work. They actions and how they view things. You probably see this person as a productive person, a workaholic, and you play a role in their life to like ease that off for them. So if you go too far, sometimes you can make them feel like you are a distraction. You make them feel like you're taking them off their task. So their energy itself, even if if y'all both bums, they teach you how to be a more productive bum. So y'all will be the power couple over all the other crackheads that know where to find all the cans at and all the aluminum, and got all the family members that be moving out of the houses in the real estate, so they'll let you go in there and take some of the pipes and stuff like that. And you ain't got to break in there like your other fellow crackheads and stuff. And so you see what I'm saying? So for the most part, it don't matter what situation, you know, because I want to just break it down for everybody in the world, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, it could be in those type of situations where if the person got the sun in your 6th house, they make you feel like you ain't doing enough. They make you feel like you need to get up and take responsibility and work just as much as them, however their level is, male or female, and things of that nature. So this could be very good, but y'all could stress each other out anytime one or the other is not reaching certain expectations. And this is one of them houses that can make false expectations. Like this could be one of those houses that no matter how spiritual you are, you feel more comfortable getting into a relationship on a shadow government basis without seeing it that way. You might see that as normal. You'll find any kind of practical solution to make that practical. Like you would take all the superstition out and put all the superficial energy in. Even if you are superstitious a little bit, you will still find a way to be like, well, I just keep that to myself. It's still more important to externally express the superficial energy. So yeah, it might work good with staying on task about things, but once a person don't care about what y'all created together because of each individual's mouth and how much pressure y'all putting on work and stuff like that, eventually that get tired. That'll wear out a relationship. Regardless of what's ever justified is like needed. Like, because you know, jobs and stuff is needed and stuff like that. But the amount of mouth and emotional pressure that come with it sometimes will make a person not even care about the responsibilities both of y'all have accumulated together, just because y'all space can't be shared anymore once y'all done turned the relationship into a job. Some 6th house type stuff. And anytime you turn a relationship into a job, we all be wanting a day to call off of a job, right? So why make a relationship a job? And a lot of y'all do that sometimes and make the other person work, and they don't be working for nothing else but upholding the other person's insecurities. And eventually that get tired, because in your own mind, you're going to be like, what about me? What about me? And you're going to be pointing to all your insecurities that this person might put a weird fart cloud peer pressure on you that you would feel weird if you was to express, because you was wet when y'all be starting y'all circumstances and connections. You was wet off this person giving you the energy that you was fulfilling them with your strength. So any lack that you got, you're fighting two battles. You're fighting the battle of not allowing them to see you sweat and you got emotional trauma, and also stand strong of that energy that attracted them to you. So when you fight those both battles, you end up losing yourself in yourself and them, and you're not even in a relationship anymore. You're a robot controlled by their mind, and they lost in their mind because how they attracted you was helping them with something. So this robot, eventually you're going to get tired of charging up and leave. And sometimes it takes the mind to leave before the body to leave. So you could be in a relationship with someone who's with you and sleeping in the bed every day. That don't mean y'all necessarily in a relationship. It's like a situationship. That person and the spirit jumped in another taxi, a mind, and left. And they mind is somewhere else. They spaceship somewhere else. They body just still in that bed with you. And then when that mind bend in on itself and create a circumstance and attract the people, places, and things and adrenaline that represent that space that they in, that they created that new taxi spaceship to get to that destination, then that's when it'll bend in on itself in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, and that monkey ass shade bird person won't be in your bed anymore. They end up jumping left. And at that point, you probably talking to your mama like, I've been knew something was going on 3 months ago. I was feeling this weirdness. Yeah, you was feeling all that person's mind making energies in another space that was not in that bed when they was physically there. 3 months you talking to your mother about ago. You know what I'm saying? So understand dynamics and stuff like that. Astrology is a cold tool you can use for your relationship once you find somebody and y'all both got a purpose. And both of y'all got idle minds, y'all distractions have to support the relationship. And eventually, once the dickmatism wear off, or the twatmatism wear off, the jiggly wiggly energy wear off, the money to support who had the car, who had the shelter wear off, then only thing that's going to stand there is we into the same things. Then once y'all start looking at that, y'all not. Y'all got separate emails. Y'all scared to show each other y'all inboxes because y'all ain't got the same business where it's needed anyway. Where one person found the email that supports y'all business before you did, so it's not even a second question, a second brainer. The only reason y'all gonna have discussions of, I need a phone lock and stuff like that, is because y'all already started the relationship in two different spaces. All right, a regular relationship. When you start a relationship on a spiritual ship, y'all have no choice but to have the same emails and inboxes. And here's the kicker: once a relationship start with that trust, nor do y'all even care on a large percentage scale when y'all do have y'all own emails and y'all own inboxes, because how y'all relationships start. So it's more on a percentage scale of plan positive outcomes, even when negative things come, than the negative relationships that the shadow government create for y'all to jump into when y'all didn't even start it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So for an example, I get my consort, so we have no choice but to have an email, because that's where our tarot card books is getting sold at. So she might catch an email before me. I might catch an email before her when we out doing our things, and when we practice our little space energy that we have for each other, so we don't create extreme frustration like humans, because we ain't human at that point. Especially if you with me, you ain't human at that point. We know everything. We ain't lost trying to search for things. We the ones who teach these things. But for the most part, here's the thing, right? Now with that, at some point, it's not a much thought process when I'm on my own with friends, and when you on your own with friends or family or your mama. It's not, I don't have to think so much about, even if you do got your own inbox and email. The care is less on a percentage scale to develop me arguing with you than the people who came in a relationship that way, and then when all the dickmatism wear off, they start to realize that was the only thing distracting them from not caring about why you got a separate email in the first place. Then all these things become a main issue, where in the other situation, that's not even an issue, and y'all got your own emails and stuff. You see what I'm saying? And then y'all so distracted anyway, even with your own emails and inboxes. You don't care about nothing else but something that helped your connection right now, because you know how much it took for you to even reach that comfort hot spot zone, sweet zone with this person. You know, you ain't got time to be wasting that much time to reach that, if that's even possible again with this with another individual. So any inbox you got on yourself, if it ain't about the business and your shit going on anyway, it better not be too far, because it might be something you have to show your partner. Like, look at this clown. Know what I'm saying? So at some point, and that's how far as it go. And that's how God support them kind of relationships. Now God, like, I could do something with this. Because even if these people go to an argument and go to their family members for a day or a week, I could count on them to continue the mission. I could count on them not to get flunked in things we can't use, thoughts and feelings, until we bring it with the organs. So I can count on them to every now and then get lost, because I know they lost in thoughts and feelings. But I know as spirits, they not so lost in it that the thought and feeling is not able to bend in and become the reality with their organs again. Both of them together, opening that inbox I need them to sell to everybody, so that tarot card book take over the Jewish world of rocking everybody to sleep. You know what I'm saying? That's what God be needing people for. Real stuff. Real stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it's supposed to be. But a lot of times we just got too many false examples. So we don't be never knowing where to start until I said something. But trust me, I came here just like y'all. I don't know nothing else but Dorothy and the Seven Dwarfs either. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about the Alice in Wonderland either. That's all I know too. So when I'm out expecting relationship or going to high school and stuff like that, I've seen the same thing y'all seen. It's just me being Uriel. I start catching it early. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to teach it, but I'm still in the same situation as y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just that's how they did. They gave us all these faulty examples. So it's hard for us to know what we want, because we never got validated for what we want. We never got validated for our emotional intelligence or anything. We only got validated if it was accepted, what was normal on Walt Disney. And if we bring something home, some smack monkey home that don't look like, and I ain't talking physically, I'm talking about even, physically, and backings and stuff. If we bring some smack shaved bird duck monkey home to our parents that don't look like something Walt Disney taught us, our parents gonna be the first one not validating our emotions, first one telling us we're going against them about something or something like that. Then we gonna start to think we're doing something wrong, and then we lose ourselves and then start doing things to think we're doing the right thing that ain't got nothing to do with ourselves. And then we live for the world and live for other people that ain't even gonna put you in a position of what you truly gonna always remind yourself when you by yourself or with your soul group as a spirit. Thank you so much for the donation, Area 3, aka like-minded individuals. And then you always got this weird fart cloud peer pressure. Oh, this person gonna think, so I better not go too far. That person's life ain't yours, or you wouldn't be here. Obviously, when their parents was looking at them, they made up in their mind, oh, my life ain't my siblings, my life ain't my auntie, my life ain't my foster parent, my life ain't my parents. So that's how a person chose not to have an abortion, and you here. So when y'all live y'all lives in that circumstance that's opposite from how you got here, this why you're experiencing blockages and stuff. You're creating mental cages where there aren't any. You know what I'm saying? And it's how you lack respect when areas and events pop up in your life when you need it. And then you'll start to realize all these energies you was giving to others in your life that was supporting you in a certain way, all that energy you was giving them of you feeling comfortable by that support, you're going to start to realize how it's being used on a negative end, and you don't want to be seen in that way anymore, because there's going to be certain areas and events that play out in your life where you want to be seen a certain way, but the support that this person give you don't allow the respect to be manifested that you want in that place. So then that's when you start to realize that, damn, I took the good with the bad too much. I took the comfort zone and got too comfortable, and now when I need to switch my situation and get uncomfortable to expand myself, I can't do it because of all the fart cloud I got now and the peer pressure I got to get over, and worrying how this person gonna see me before I can even feel comfortable doing what I want to do. I got to fight two battles. How I can feel comfortable being around this person and come up with allegory so they can't truly see what I know in my mind. If they was to see, they'd think I'm doing something different when I'm just being myself. And then I got to fight the battle with developing enough courage just to go and live in the world, aka feel good about myself and my decisions. When you like both of those energies, man, you're on a bad train wreck right now. That could only lead to a drug habit that ain't got nothing to do with Uriel's and walking, talking weed. That could only lead to a mental illness type of drug habit, and one that you end up in the hospitals all the time. You ain't gonna never hear nobody overdosing on no trees. But you hear people getting all kind of chronic illnesses from tobacco, Black and Milds, Middleton, filter tips, and wine, Black and Milds and stuff. The shit smell like death. I hate that shit. Alcohol, liver poisoning, blacking out in the middle of driving and creating accidents and putting other people's lives in danger because you don't know how to drive for yourself. You only experience that from that stuff that the government made legal. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And then cracking all that stuff, you already know that's unhealthy. So if you live in the hood, you should have enough examples that God show you to, you better know how to use that as a, and not use that in the, you don't be no victims. You know what I'm saying? So if you from the hood, you got enough examples to know what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? You know people who do that and put it in the pipe. You see their outcomes in their life. You see that's not right. So if you fall short to that, then you ain't listening to God. God put all these things in front of you, and God could be right in front of you. You a spit in the face. If you don't know how to use things like a beep, beep, aka beyond that, melt metals, learn how to promote, learn how to sell, learn how to craft the thing, learn how to be creative. If you don't know how to take things of the world and package it up for yourself for the world, then that's why God can't use you. You become the product. You don't know how to push the product. God can't use you at that point. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the shadow government doing as far as intellectual properties and all kind of stuff. That's why I use thoughts and feelings like that. I use everything. I don't even get too lost into that unless I'm trying to connect with a female or something like that. And then even into that point, I teach her how to correlate it because we ain't got no choice but to be in it anyway. So it ain't what we do, it's how we do it. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure we're doing things productive, useful. You know what I'm saying? Or it will be no such thing as y'all seeing a page named Dolo the Pilot Man having 4,000 videos on there. Now, finishing, get back on topic, right? Now, when it gets into the sun, now let's say somebody's son, let's finish with the sixth house. So this person might put you to work. They give you this influence, but you might give them the influence of making them want to relax. Now, it could play out good if this individual is an all work, non-play type of person. But eventually, you know, everything has a yin and yang. Don't become the individual of this person that takes them off their task. Now, let's say you got the sun, somebody's son is in your seventh house. This is a person you can see yourself relating to, even all the way to the point of relationship if it's the other opposite sex or your other half or something like that, right? But just in general context, this is a person that you can see yourself relating to, or you rather relate to than someone else, because the things how y'all relate is in the same space. So y'all might be interested into the same things that people like to talk about in that kind of space. So it's easy for y'all to talk about those things in that space. It's almost like feel like home with that person, even if if they became a stranger, if there was a stranger at first. It'd be a person that becomes a non-stranger way before other strangers at that bus station or at that job. You know what I'm saying? Because the conversation y'all spark will be more of an interest y'all both interested in than all the other people at y'all job and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So this also like a marriage alignment too. This could be a person you marry to a certain degree because this person's actions and how they view things balance your life in some way, shape, or form. So 9 times out of 10, you might be doing something in your life, and the person's son that fall into your 7th house, their actions, what they do, and how they view things actually support what you lack if you're into something, especially if you don't got no planets in the 7th house. You like to relate and communicate, and we all got passions. So when you relate to a person that with their sun falling in your 7th house, your passions might start filtering through the 7th house, and that person's sun sign may be an external representation. Who they are and their actions and what they do might be an external representation of what you lack and what you like to do. So you just connecting with them, you get to do what you like to do. You see what I'm saying? Because your house gets supported by their actions. And you relating to them or marrying them helps you. So this is a soulmate alignment also and things of that nature. When we talk about the sun and the 7th, now it can become negative too, where y'all can become enemies because one of the person's actions or viewpoints is not playing a role that the person with the seventh house energy see them at. Or it could be in vice versa. The person with the seventh house can appear to be controlling because they're trying to control the movement of what's in that house, their son, that person, their love interest son, their actions. So anytime they feel like they can't control the actions of that person, it's almost like they make that person an enemy, but it's really like a love enemy. It's like, I hate that I love you type thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a push you away type thing. I hate I love you type thing. It could be like that type of negative, where I hate the fact that I can't be with you type thing. Like, if y'all get what I'm saying. Now, let's say, y'all ever seen the movie, It's a thin line between love and hate? Your old Silk Houston face. And I was like, oh. But yeah, okay, that story where homegirl was willing to kill all three of them for the sake of the spiritual ship and a shadow government relationship. So relationship is this, call that the government ship. So we don't have to use the word government. Relationship, spiritual ship. So homegirl that wasn't really that successful and went to the military or Job Corps or whatever like that. That was Martin Lawrence spiritual ship. The relationship, who had the car, who had the roof. In this context, who had the limo, who can help him with Chocolate City, his club in Atlanta, as Martin Lawrence. That was the shadow government relationship example. Now, for the most part, when it comes into the situation at the end of the movie, he realized that he couldn't find nobody better than the person's son that was in the seventh house, or his seventh house and her son was there, or that vice versa, aka homegirl that he always looked past, but she lived next door. But at the end, she was the only one out to save him. At the end, he was realizing he was searching for her in others because he couldn't have her if they met the negative end of it. I hate that I can't have you energy, based upon both of our situations. She's in the military. He's running a club right now. So both of y'all are distracted. She probably fucked a few men in the military. You know he fucked a few people in this club in Chocolate City. That's how he met homegirl and made that relationship. Shadow government wise, and her picking up the limo and promising him she's going to support his goal, his club. So he got wet all in that and things of that nature, right? And created a weird first and seventh house conundrum, right? So for the most part, with this seventh house energy, what you see at the end of the movie is him coming to grips, but him having to fight his way out of the relationship and shadow government and that connection and things where she felt like she got taken advantage of. What you mean you don't care about me supporting your club? What you mean you don't care about my money and me being here? This chick wasn't here. She was in the military. She wasn't even supporting you when you was building your club. She was actually, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the reason why he even was able to spend time with the relationship other than the spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, maybe I'm getting too deep. Let me get out of this. Oh, so let me get out of this. Oh, like all that. I think like that made me feel like I need to be on the phone talking to a female. Like, hey, son in 8th house. Oh, Sarah, sticky icky. All them emotions and stuff. Let's move along. Oh, hey, somebody's son in 8th house. Now, if somebody got their son in your 8th house, now a lot of times you get easily distracted by this person too. This person can help your desires, your passions, your motivations and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They can go real deep and to the point that you might get dickmatized or twatmatized and forgot you even had passions. So it was ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Y'all never rose up to be a phoenix. Y'all was laying in the bed all day and night. Then y'all forgot y'all ain't got no job no more. Then one person gonna feel like they better than the other one and actually get a job and a better relationship to prove the other person wrong about something. And then the person gonna feel stung and for no reason. Y'all got in secret competition. Welcome to a person you met with the sun in your 8th house. Man, that stuff is negative. That stuff is negative. Oh, sad that if it's positive. y'all just manifest all kind of weird things people don't seem to understand. It's almost like y'all inheriting something. Like if both of y'all was family in the spiritual world and y'all grandparents died and gave y'all all this inheritance and it manifested into the one, two, and third dimension as both of y'all being soulmates or something or being separate partners, and then y'all just come down here and start transmuting all kind of stuff. People wish they could see y'all actions and figure it out based on actions and what they see from y'all, but they never figure it out. It'd be something like just because y'all fucking or something like that. That's why y'all manifesting. Like God made y'all be together. So just y'all being together, y'all did what God told y'all to do. So y'all like transmuting all kind of phoenix energies, getting things other people want, and y'all family members get jealous and stuff like that. Just because y'all like deeply connected with some type of bond, can't nobody break y'all from, even if y'all was around these people without y'all partner at that time. You know what I'm saying? It won't be nothing another person to say. When a person say something about your partner, you take it almost like they talking about you. You know what I'm saying? If your partner's somewhere with their friends or homeboys or homegirls or something like that, when they say something about you, when you ain't around your partner and they're around their family or friends, your partner almost take offense like they're talking about them in front of their face. That's how deep it be. And even if you're not around that person, you might even feel that way. You will feel like whatever your partner doing is for you at the moment, and you will feel like whatever you doing, you should be doing it for your partner. All the way if you stop at the shopping mart or the mall with your friends or something like that and go get something, your partner always in your mind. Like something like that. Like, all right, yeah, I'm about to get me this little ice cream cone. Oh, my partner like this. I'm gonna make sure I get this too. You know what I'm saying? Like that little 3 seconds, the friends you with ain't even on your mind. Your partner back on your mind. Like real behind the scene, eighth house type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the deep, fixated water loyalty goes beyond. Would nobody be able to take y'all? It's like Bonnie and Clyde. Nobody never be take y'all apart. Now, if y'all become enemies, y'all become your own super worst enemies because both of y'all are the only ones who got the superpowers to destroy each other. So both of y'all be secretly destroying each other that nobody else around y'all who know y'all know what's going on. It's like some behind the closed doors type stuff that only you and that person know what's going on with their son in your eighth house, or your son is in their eighth house. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like, and both of y'all be clearly knowing about it. Like y'all didn't probably create a world or something like that where both of y'all jump there as spirits. And it could be time past that y'all not even in the physical interacting. But it'll just seem like yesterday. It'll seem like it's normal. Like if this person was with you in a reality world, how deeply connected y'all is in that world y'all created together. So it could be like years past down here. It won't even seem like that because every day past, y'all will still go into that one world together and fighting each other instead of doing something, fucking or something, doing something. Both of y'all are lost in reality that the people in y'all actual life don't know what's going on with y'all. I said real stuff. I'm telling you, it'd be deep. You be having arguments with all kind of stuff. It's deep. Now let's say you got ninth house, sun in the ninth house, right? Now, with the sun and yeah, somebody y'all mentioned the movies. Yeah, we need to start making movies for real, flight knowledge. And y'all listening, we can all add on and create a big production team. Well, we about to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm already on this. I got the equipment, and everything. It's just about doing it. That's all it's about. It's just about doing it. It ain't really about sitting here complaining, making excuses. It ain't about none of that. It's just about doing it. That's it. That's all God be wanting to see. All the thinking and excuses supposed to be added ideas to add to what you don't care about, and you're going to do it anyway with whatever thought or feeling. Even if you're scared about doing something, God said, take that fear and transmute it into some creative attribute of something you're going to do anyway. So why are you scared about it? That you could add that as information in it to make whatever you're doing look more knowledgeable. That's that real stuff. For an example, you probably scared, so you don't never think that you want to make movies in your life. God said, it don't matter what you make a movie. You're going to make a movie anyway. So take that fear and make a movie about fear. So now ain't even nothing to fear. And then you got a movie that you just transmuted of what you thought you was in that would have prevented you from making a movie. You got a whole movie about it, make $1 million about it. Yeah, it's that real stuff. And a lot of people go through these things. You're going to attract them and become a blockbuster hit. And because it's going to be a movie dealing with people who got fear. And then it's really an allegory about you getting out of a fear to manifest all your wildly natures. And all you did, and your first fear was you thinking people was going to accept you wanting to make movies or not. And then once you got out of that fear, one of the first things was you making a movie about, you know what I'm saying? That's just you being talented at that point. That's how you be spiritual. You transmute anything. You don't get lost in nothing. God wants you to transmute anything and just make it. You know what I'm saying? You will see how you make it in life. We make it. We don't follow and get lost and look for it. We make it. Everything. Thank you so much for the donation, Sigma LaFleur. You said, what up there, moon? All right, the moon is just dealing with the emotions. The sun is their actions, their viewpoints. The moon is your emotions, how you react, how you respond. So it's the emotional connection. The Mercury is the communication, the way of thinking. Venus is the love or how y'all share desires and things of that nature. Mars is the passions or y'all motivations that's going to be portrayed there. Jupiter is y'all experiences, y'all meanings, the reasonings behind things that y'all put there. Saturn is how y'all both see reality. That's going to be put there. You know what I'm saying? Neptune, Uranus is going to be the uniqueness or the rebellion energy y'all both put there. Neptune is going to be the dreams and imagination that this person put there in a fantasy. A person could put you in a fantasy. So if a person got Neptune in your eighth house, right, they could play this role that suit all the needs of your eighth house while taking advantage of you and stuff like that. So you could be lost into a delusion for real. Extremely digmatized, even if it ain't that good. Extremely traumatized, twatmatized, even if it ain't that good, and things of that nature with someone we got a Neptune in your eighth house. You will make up in your own mind how it's better and you only want it from them because it matched some movie that you watched in your head or something like that, and that person is the only representation of it. So you willing to make up in your mind what they lack to fulfill it in your own mind based upon the imagination Neptune put there, and then you still be good to go. I'm saying, bro, it get deep. It get deep. Now look, check this out. Let's say somebody's son is in somebody's ninth house. This person inspire you to learn more. You know what I'm saying? You might even look at this person like they teach you a lot of things, even if they're not a teacher. Their actions and their upbringing and the conversations you have with them in your mind teaches you things about yourself and your life, and things that, and some of their actions is things that you can use in your life to get you out of certain things that you ain't know you was in as a cycle that didn't go in your way. So this person end up being a wise person to you with their actions and their viewpoints, even if y'all not doing things that takes wisdom to do. You see what I'm saying? It's just you're able to look at them and filter your own life through that mechanism where we still have to use that word. So at the same time, you know, you could become an individual also that have the support to support whatever that they know or whatever that they do. So y'all could balance each other out with this kind of alignment. Sun in the ninth house. This is like a good balance in here. Because this person might like spark you to travel internally and externally. Internal travel is this expanding in the mind, jumping into a new spaceship and going further out, having more far out thoughts than the small world you was in when the shadow government made that magic square apartment building system city Babylon. When you're around this person, you're allowed to travel further internally and even externally or learn more. So, but let's say you might meet some person in that energy and it might just be potential that with their goals, you be the house person, so you automatically, male or female, might got a job or might got something that automatically can support their thing. And your platform or your emotional security or your household or something like that can make whatever that they're doing that you like flourish, and whatever that they're doing that you like flourish actually supports and make whatever that you had to make them secure more better also. So it's like it's like both of y'all blending in what y'all bring to the table, and one is not better than the other. You know what I'm saying? For an example, a person could rap and sing all day, but just because you can't rap and sing, this person needs you because you bought the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Or your uncle or your parents or someone got a music studio. So they need you just as much as you need them. So look at the person with the studio as the house, male or female, and look at the person who can rap and sing as the son, male or female. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you got the studio, but there's no one in there for the studio to be used. For your uncle Quincy Jones to be inspired and be like, yeah, you are future A&R and you won't carry our family business because you know how to find good artists, right? So boom, you found your partner. Then they can sing and rap real good, but it's no use if it ain't on wax. It's no use if it can't be recorded. So one is not better than the other. So y'all create a natural blend where they talent put y'all in better studios, and just you having a studio help them express their talent. So it's a natural blend right there. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the sun in somebody's ninth house can do if y'all soulmates and matching and shit. Well, one ain't better than the other unless y'all in the ego. Y'all gonna try to convince that. So the one person who can rap or sing gonna try to find a studio and might not ever find that one that allowed them to express themselves like that one studio. Then the one with the studio could be like, oh, I could go find any artist. But any artist you go find might not can't rap and sing like that person. So all y'all doing is being secret enemies with each other and playing out that sun in the seventh house energy. And y'all need to stop that. Uriel says stop that. Stop it. Grow up. Understand it's a natural blend and get out y'all ego so you know, oh, just because I just equalize and I can't rap and sing, I'm still equal. Or just because I can rap and sing and people like to rap and sing and I can't equalize, but this person's still equal. Now y'all natural blend. Guess what? Y'all got Death Row Records now. Can't nobody stop y'all. Can't nobody stop y'all now. Y'all doing all kind of shows and events as a couple and stuff like that. Y'all run the world. So I'm saying. Now let's say the 10th house. If you got somebody's son in your 10th house or your son is in their 10th house, this is like a status type thing, right? So be careful that you're not jumping into this. See, it get tricky when we start to talk about the 2nd, 6th, and the 10th house, regardless if you have a air, water, or fire element in the sign there. Sometimes, you know, this is the earth houses. So especially if it's an earth sign, but even if you got fire, water, or air there, you're still kind of like going to see the superficial, but still try to, you still going to see the superstition, but you still going to try to make sense why you should only express the superficial of a situation. You see what I'm saying? So you might understand how something is spiritual or whatever like that, but you might still choose to decide to express what makes sense and getting into a relationship based upon who got the car, who got the money, who got the shelter first, and then try to make it work in that way back to spirituality. And sometimes you can do that if you got this kind of alignment, if you have that understanding. But if you don't, sometimes you just chalk it up and automatically get lost in to only seeing, even in spiritual ship contexts, jumping into it with the relationship of the government first. Because that 2nd, 6th, and 10th house blind you into thinking that it's comfortable to connect with someone who got these things first. So I'm saying, so you got to be careful. And you might be that person to feel like, before I jump into a relationship and present myself out there, I need these things first. And you might be passing up real good, genuine relationships, being distracted on things you think you need that Walt Disney taught you for you to even feel comfortable presenting yourself now. You see what I'm saying? So you're using external basis to represent your internal lacking of something. Thank you so much for the donation, Juju. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. You said I'm a Sag, married a guy, a Pisces, going through divorce. Just connect after 25 years. Any advice? Y'all probably tired of each other. Y'all probably jumped into the situation on false pretense. So once you give each other a little bit of space, and if it don't seem like y'all miss each other and things of that nature, then that's confirmation that the starting of the relationship wasn't nothing grounded on a spiritual ship, so nothing to stick there. So all the wearing off energies is completely wore off. And the wear off energies never have no sticking abilities. Like who had the roof over their head, who had the money, who was stigmatized, who was traumatized, who was trauma bonding the most, who was traumatized. Those never have any sticking percentage level energies. So when it completely wear off, that's when both parties is in a situation where the mind and the body is leaving. The mind already be gone sometimes when the body is still there. So you didn't make that new mind in that new space fully to manifest in the physical world to get out of the current situation yet. So a lot of times it's just dealing with each other at the time and developing more frustration with each other and stuff. So for the most part, if the spiritual space don't work, when y'all put enough, the amount of energy you put in, the same as you get out. So since y'all put years in, it's going to take might not the same amount of years out of it, but the amount of thought and feeling, because the spiritual world time is different. So the amount of thought and feeling you put into something, right? It could be 3 seconds into 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. But if you put a whole bunch of thought and feeling in something in a spiritual world, that could be like a year compared to there. Almost to the point that it be that concept of when you get too lost into your mind, time fades here. This is why when you're in your mind or doing something you actually want to do, the job time, your time at work fly real fast and things of that nature. Or when you set your alarm clock, you thought it was 10 minutes, but you felt like you only slept for 3 minutes when the alarm clicked on again, being on standby because you got to get up for work and stuff. That's anytime you get, that's a a metaphysical and a daydreaming version. If you was just at work, representation of when we go into spirit time, this time slows down. I mean, speeds up. And when we get too rooted into reality and not be in our imagination, this time slows down and the spiritual time speed up. So when you too much in reality about what's actually going on and you can't get into your imagination, when you at work, it'll seem like you there all day. When you in jail, it'll seem like each day is a year. When you get into your imagination and things of that nature, or get into good conversations at work and stuff like that, it'll seem like you just got out work and the day is over. When you get into your creativity and become the best rapper and singer alive because you ain't had nothing else to do in jail but eat bologna and become big like the homies, right? Then for the most part, it'll seem like that 10-year bid was 6 months. You know what I'm saying? For real, like real stuff. I'm telling you, this is I had to break it down like that for people to understand. So the amount of energy that you have to put in because y'all lacked the spiritual understanding of the tit for tat was coming from when y'all need space. And it's hard to see that when you develop a relationship on a government tactics and not a spiritual ship. You're distracted in all these things that eventually you're going to need space from. So when you put the same energy you put in that you got to get out, aka the amount of extreme separation y'all got to do now all the way to divorcing, the amount of time y'all separate, if y'all don't miss each other and come back, then y'all wasn't even supposed to be in a relationship in the first place. Y'all was just distracted and then found a large percentage level of good times in those distractions. So if y'all was to put the amount of bad and good times, y'all probably had a good amount of, like the amount of minutes and seconds and hours that y'all put in the good times probably add up to a week or add up to a month that you could kind of be like, okay, that probably was a good relationship. But the simple fact that it's over is all the correspondence in the world and confirmation that y'all wasted each other's time. Or y'all still be together. No way around it. The only way around a conclusion of you can say you ain't wasting somebody's time is that both of y'all next to each other in a wheelchair. Both of y'all next to each other in a nursing home and y'all grandkids wiping y'all butts. Or you had to bury your partner and your partner waiting for you to meet them in that realm with them. You know what I'm saying? And like just like the Titanic love story that melt my heart every time. So for the most part, if it ain't that, then you got to chalk it up. You was wasting somebody's time. Y'all just justify it based upon the amount of manifestations of good times y'all had and the times y'all was overall wasting each other's time. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Real order for that. It really order for that. Real like. Now look. Now let's check this out. Now getting into the sun. Yeah, finishing the sun in the 10th house. So for the most part, this puts you in a situation where this person, if it's on a negative end, they put a blemish on your status. So the more you kind of interact with this person, it's almost like it play out like that guilty pleasure energy where, you know, we all connect with people, but just based upon them having a sun in your 10th house, and let's say y'all met based upon relationship, not spiritual shit, automatically by default, this person becomes a guilty pleasure through the eyes of people who know you and your friends, because that's your status through the eyes of people that know you and what you present and how you mix your business metaphysically as far as gossip and physically as far as how you obtain yourself, right? And how you structure yourself and organize your status, how you get your 1-2 together, right? So through the eyes and lens of others, the person who got the sun in your 10th house, if you get into a relationship with them and let's say it's toxic, through the lens of others, people will look at you like this is a guilty pleasure of yours. You know what I'm saying? And you're putting blemishes on opportunities for you based upon who you rubbing shoulders with and becoming guilty by association. So it could be that energy too. And you could be like, oh, nah, girl. Or nah, man. Nah, she's the one and stuff like that. And everybody else would be like, yeah, she's the one that's robbing you blind. Or yeah, girl, nah, girl. He got this business, whatever like that. And they like, oh, yeah, he got that business. He be fucking all the mother hoes in, you don't know. But yeah, so a lot of times you can't see it until you get out of that status, whatever that made you like that person in the first place, whoever got the sun in the 10th house and vice versa. See what I'm saying? Now, 11th house. Whoever got the sun, and now if a person got a sun in your 11th house, 9 times out of 10, you probably met them through an associate, through a family member, through being in a location where you kind of like to disassociate yourself when you get tired of your private zones or people that you're already comfortable with. When you separate and isolate for those things for small periods of times, this part where you met this person. So probably at the grocery store, when you was walking through the park, when you was doing something, when your time of, you understand, or through an associate or something like that, or times like that, dealing with the right people, places, and things you need to for your goals to flourish. You know what I'm saying? Like this might be the right person to meet to be able to connect, which you always been into, that you had to isolate yourself to develop because you already got family and friends that didn't support it. So we all got these kind of energies in all kind of small areas to large percentage areas that we experience. So anytime you do that little small isolation energy, we're not saying burning bridges. You know, we all got time for ourselves. We ain't saying we're not friends or family with these people anymore. It's not that. We talk about petty stuff. But when you do go to that small time alone to develop your own passion, whether it's walking through the park, your own creative gifts, you end up stumbling across a like-minded individual in this location, or when you're online or doing things, cater to the stuff that you isolate yourself when you need a little break from the people that you're familiar with or life at the moment. And then that person end up being an individual that their connects, you just networking with them is part of your association, and now you could be associated with things that you like to do when you're separating from things that bother you, that's filtered through the same type of shapes, just the energies that's bothering you. So you might meet a new associate in the 11th house that cater to when you isolate yourself from your associates in the 4th and the 7th house and people, places, and things there that you be needing breaks from when you get into your bag. And the things that you do when you get into your bag, you meet something in the 11th house, a person that's in that same area. So now you have an association that you could connect with that cater to the things you like to do to separate you from other people, places, and things for you to even have the idea, if you get what I'm saying. Because we always got to deal with people. You can't run with that. It's teamwork makes the dream work, or you wouldn't be here. Your mama had to meet your father. Okay, now let's check this out. Then well, let me finish this off before we go into the 12th house. So for the most part, this individual can make you feel balanced. They can make you feel ease. But a lot of times, this could build that intimidation energy where you may self-sabotage, because a lot of times you could feel disposable due to the fact of how the very same thing would attract. How things start is how it's end. So always start a relationship on a spiritual ship. So spirituality is eternal. The spirit don't die. So even if y'all in the physical, y'all spirit still connected and y'all took care of each other. So always have a spiritual ship. But when you jump into a relationship, how it starts, it ends. So the very same thing what got you to like this person could be the very same thing if it ends negatively and y'all as spirits ain't got that care energy, can make it lead to negativity. For an example, you met them and you got supported with you associated with and things of that nature. But the very same energy you liked about them, they got that quality. So once you start to get spiritually smothered a little bit, these very same qualities become negative a little bit. AKA, you start to feel intimidated because you might start thinking this person is doing things with their associations. So the very same reason you like them in the first place, them taking their associations to help you, once you got them, end up being the same problem. You end up start speculating that they're doing things with their associates anytime their attention span is lessened with you and stuff like that. So you have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Where the very same reason you like this person end up being the very same things you can make justifications of why you're hating them now and why they could possibly be doing things behind your back. And the very same way how they met you they have the ability to create the possibility to do that with someone else, and you could become disposable. And then they be helping somebody else with their associations, aka if you got into a relationship with them and now y'all got a business together, the same way they met you, they can meet someone else and take the resources y'all got together, and to the person that they just met, they're just looking at it like they're associated with this person, and this person, you're a piece of one of their networks and associations now. You know what I'm saying? That they're taking to someone that get ready to lead y'all into a divorce. So it could be the same kind of attributes. So you have to be careful of that also. How something starts is how it ends also when you got spiritual wisdom. Always started as a spiritual ship. Now, last but not least, because I didn't know I was even going to go that long. I really did want to break down the moon and Venus. We're going to have to say that for another live stream. I guess it was meant for that. God wanted me to break it down in depth just for the sun right now to get y'all the starting point. So when we do go into the moon and stuff like that, we could get more other energies into that one, and more of like laughter and stuff like that, and not so serious and derived in talking, because y'all already got the ground basis on how to look at this. So we'll be able to breeze through these things and add other funny allegories and stuff like that and do open panels. But as long as we get the ground basis and the serious structure out the way first, that's always with God respect, and that's always a good face card for God and the universe and everything in it. So even if you do fall short in later purposes, you can always fall back on that, and others can remember that as a reminder of who you truly are, even if you was to lose yourself future wise. So you always got a reminder of a grounding when you're actually a genuine person And if you're genuine yourself, you ain't gotta worry about other people doing that for you, because you the one who's doing it. So you should know how to do it yourself and teach others. This is what's going on. Each one teach one. We change the world. Now, when a person's sun is in your 12th house, right? This person play out an image of your imagination, right? And a lot of times they can do no wrong, even if they're the most wrong person that your grandmother told you from a mile away. They can do no wrong from your perspective a lot of times. And it takes you ended up in jail, hell, or a casket and things of that nature for you to realize, and it might be too late if you're in the hell one, but if you're in jail or you didn't put somebody underneath your SUV because you're a female, so you didn't broke too many nails, however the circumstance may be, this person will force you to go through those type of situations. And all your tires is flat every year because you too busy running over other bitches because this person is cheating, but you always feel like they can't do no wrong, so that's why they're hanging around and you allowing a possibility all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because this person got you Neptunian dickmatized or the Neptunian twatmatized. So no matter how many times your grandmother tell you it's this person that's causing you to go to jail or breaking nails or get ready to go to hell, you saying it's not that, it's something to do with you, and that's why this person is doing what they're doing, because you're not doing something right. And all that's going to make you do is get frustrated and make you be is a thin lie and try to kill both of them and yourself, and think and justify that in your mind like you doing the right thing, like you hurting somebody else's feelings by killing yourself. Like it get deep. Y'all, it get deep. Don't let no sun sign in the 12th house do that to you. F is negative. Now, if you were a positive person, if they sun fall into your 12th house, this person's actions and their viewpoints help you with all your dreams, imaginations, and your fantasies. And you give them a purpose to continue to do what they're doing for your dreams and stuff, or for their dreams. So you give them support to keep doing what they're doing, and their actions itself give you all kind of creative delusions and imaginations to add on to things to make whatever that they're doing much greater. So they don't want to break bread with no one else but you if they're their friend, or they don't want to be in a relationship with no one else but you if it's a relationship, because specifically spiritual shit, what I suggest, because you play out this image that no one else can, and they only want to support that image, and you the only person that's in that dream image to them. You know what I'm saying? So they will sacrifice it all for you. And you will probably do the same, because it's always vice versa. And I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. I gotta breathe a little bit. I ain't know I was gonna take this long and stuff like that, but yeah, I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? We'll do a peaceful open panel on the Ratchet channel tomorrow. You know, but I'm a man, so I gotta transmute all energies. You know what I'm saying? Negative, positive, all things, and put it to light and things of that nature. And then the world get to, and then we can laugh, and then we can all laugh again. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the cry now, laugh later, or something. Like life ain't life without all. If someone can make you smile, cry, laugh, sad, and then be there with you when things get bad. If a motherfucker can't do that, get the fuck away from him. It ain't somebody worth being frustrated with, because it ain't even a situation God wants you to be in. And better believe that. And I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. It don't go no further than that. It don't go no further than that.